First of all, I kind of was misled. I thought it was a Declaration of Independence, but actually that parchment just says a declaration. That's it. If you've ever seen it, it's all it says, a declaration. And as I got reading it through, the first part is the purpose of why the Declaration was written. The second paragraph in the Declaration was why it is written. That paragraph starts out, maybe you know this one. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with inherent and inalienable rights, that among these are what? You got that part, don't you? Then following that are 28 grievances against King George. 28 different named specific ways that King George was, in our minds, abusing the colonies. The next paragraph is a statement that said, we have tried to diplomatically solve this and it isn't working. We've tried to appeal to the king to take these 28 abuses and to rectify them through conversation. But King George says, no go. In fact, in the statement, it says that what they got back were injurious statements. And so finally at the end, the last paragraph is, therefore, we accept the responsibility to break with England and also govern ourselves. We declare ourselves independent of Britain's rule. We are now a free nation. I didn't know all that. I mean, I just 4th of July have a picnic and go see fireworks. Rah, rah. But that celebration that we're going to have in 2 days, that's what it's based on. I was really encouraged. I had more, I guess, appreciation for those that wrote that declaration, and then later on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights that really established America. And they recognized that we were all created equal, that God started it all, and He put into each individual common rights that we had, not because someone gave it to us, it's because God gave it to us. They started there. And then they listed all the ways things had gone wrong, and they appealed to the king to fix it. A very godly way of working out differences. And the king said no. And they said, therefore, based upon God-given rights, these objections that aren't met, we tried to work it out diplomatically. Therefore, we declare ourselves independent of this rule, and we will take on the responsibility to govern ourselves. What an amazing document. You see, there were leaders in our time that felt like that we had no recourse but to go to war against Britain. There were others that believed, no, I believe in this declaration, but I think we can still work it out. There's leaders that believe that. They wouldn't sign the declaration because they wanted to stay loyal to the king. We can work it out. We can work it out. We can work it out. And this other says, no, we've tried. It's not happening. You see, on July 2nd is when that declaration was finished. On July 4th was when it was voted on and signed by the 13 colonists. And July 9th was the first time it was read publicly in New York City by George Washington himself to the soldiers and citizens gathered on that day. And they were so stirred by this Declaration of Independence that was read that some of the citizens then ran down the street and grabbed ropes and pulled this statue of King George off its rocker. Pulled it down. They actually took the bronze in that symbol and melted it down and made bullets to fight the British. It was a very stirring declaration that they got a hold of, and they took action in our country, in the founding of our nation. And yet, reading that just really stirred me in the reality of the spiritual kingdom that we live in. And do we believe the declarations that God has made about us? Or do we not?